Hello, hello. Welcome to day 4 of Softflex Customer Appreciation Week. I get the privilege of hanging out with the most amazing, most talented Kate Richbourg today. I'm super excited. It is her first Customer Appreciation Week. I invited her from the beginning. She was too busy and hasn't been able to get on this train, but I finally got her in here, and boy, oh boy, am I thrilled.
Well, I am thrilled to be here.
Okay, let me pop this down. You can find Kate regularly at beadshop.com. She does lots of live videos. She curates lots of the items that are being sold there, and she is also my very good friend. Hi, Kate.
Hi, Sarah. Thank you for having me. And I am really sorry. I'm reaching around to grab something. I'm going to get a little close up right here.
We get to see your earring, so
right
that works
there.
out.
There we go. There's my earring. Everybody, there it is. I was just checking for something. There it is. I realized as I saw myself, you know how it is.
Yeah.
Like you see yourself and I'm all, oh, let me put on a little lip while we're chatting.
A little bit of color. Yeah.
Right. A little bit of color. My friend, thank you so much. You know, as I do this, as I check myself in the mirror or in the screen rather.
Mm-hmm. Looking beautiful, Kate.
Well, right back at you. You know, I love that you guys from Softflex do this customer appreciation because as you know, and as I know, as small business, being involved in small business for so many years, without our customers, we'd just be hanging out here just by ourselves. Right? Yep. So we are so lucky. And I am so fortunate for all of these years, the relationship that beadshop.com has had with Softflex. Back in the days, you know, when Mike and Scott would go from store to store with their Softflex with the little silver labels that said, here, try this out. And I remember we strung something over the counter. It was back in like 92 or 93, I think.
Yeah, right at the beginning.
Right at the beginning. So I always have called myself a Softflex girl, and beadshop.com is very, very proud to have supported Softflex all of these years and to have your support. Because again, small business, we couldn't do it without each other for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. The idea of Customer Appreciation Week is to thank our immediate customers who watch our videos all the time and interact with us, but also to thank all of the businesses that have supported us over the years. And that's why that very first year you were right at the top of my mind to get here for Customer Appreciation Week. I think it was 2021 and we were all exhausted. And you were like, I can't do another thing right now. But we're looping back around and we finally got here, and I'm so glad because you've been an excellent supporter of Softflex.
Well, I'm so grateful. Thank you. And you were like, come on. And I'm all right, let's go. And it was really fun to create and design something that's a classic bead shop project, which I'll talk about when I move the camera over. Sorry, my husband, I don't know if you can hear because, you know, our studio is, Chris is moving something outside the door. Our warehouse is right here in our garage.
Can't even hear it.
Okay, good. Because I hear Chris right outside this door.
You'll probably hear my dog. You'll probably hear my groceries get delivered. That's just...
It's just the beauty of a small business. Yeah. But today we're going to work on a classic bead shop design. We've got the kit. You folks played around or got the kit. It's shipped. The pre-order shipped. After I put them all into stock, or made sure that all the kits were out, we had enough to launch 25 more kits. So those launched this morning at midnight. We have like about 15 of those kits left. So if you love it, hop on over. You can see the link is there in the comments. You can hop on over, pick it up. And once this kit is gone, I'm not remaking it, but you can certainly remake it yourself with things from your stash. I'm going to go over how we do it. It's a really fun project. It's our classic Bollywood necklace that I added soft flex for the base, and I'm really, really loving it.
Yay! I'm so excited. Okay, I'm gonna flip it over to you. I think you're getting your camera going.
Yeah, let me move my camera. And Sarah, just give me a time.
Pop this too.
What's that?
I'm gonna pop this on the screen and just chat with it for just a minute, and then I'll pop it to your tabletop. And yeah, we've got up to 2 hours. So
oh my God.
We've got more than enough time.
Okay.
So well rushed. We're not going to be here for 2 hours, but we've got a lot of time. So
just making sure.
We try to space it out so there's no stress between presentations. Awesome. Okay, so don't forget, we've got our Customer Appreciation Week treat bag. All together, it's a $50 retail value that we are giving you for free with your orders over $129 at softflexcompany.com. You do have to put in code CAWTREAT in order to get that bag added to your order, and your subtotal has to be over $129 for it to be added. Also, if you're a designer or a bead store and you're shopping on our website, you'll have to check out as a guest in order to get the bag. If we have any left next week, we will put them on sale right around that $50 retail value mark. So you may see them go up on sale. You may not, depending on how many we go through this week. But it is a beautiful canvas bag that fits tools and beading projects. And it has a custom painted design from our very own Kristen Fagan.
That's so awesome.
It's so pretty. It's really, really pretty. Okay, I'm going to pop this off and we are going to see what Kate's got on her table.
That looks very exciting.
It is.
You also, I think, let me move this over here. Close that. Let me get this up. I need my camera to catch up with me here a second. There we are. All right, we're good. And Sarah, are you guys doing a giveaway?
We are. Yeah, the information is at the bottom of the screen, and we are giving away a 10-foot spool of soft flex in the bone color for this presentation, and all the information's at the bottom of the screen to enter. And I'll pick the lucky winner at the end.
That's so awesome. I love it. I love how our StreamYard makes it so easy to do a giveaway.
Oh my gosh. Fun? I know. You are the StreamYard queen. You taught all of us how to use it. And now we're all doing giveaways.
Well, I think it's awesome. So I'm going to ask you just real quick before we get started here. Would it be appropriate for me to add to that giveaway, Sarah?
Oh, sure.
So after you guys do your pick, we'll just use the same #bone. Bead Shop will throw in a $25 gift certificate for who we'll pick another lucky winner, and we'll email it off to them, or we'll give it to you and you can email it off to them.
Oh my gosh, did you guys hear that?
What do you think?
Exciting. I love it.
Why not? Let's make it a party, Sarah.
I mean, it's a party whenever you're here, Kate.
Well, we so appreciate you. And I see so many of our bead shop customers. You know, we as small businesses, we share a lot of our customer friends, and it's so great. You know, some of us go back, Sarah, you and I go back, I don't know, decades, right?
Yes,
so
absolutely.
So it's really great. So yeah, we'll be happy to do that as well. So let me talk a little bit about this kit. I'll talk a little bit about some of the resources that you can find to put this together. And then I'm going to talk to you. Then we're going to do the how-to. We'll do it. So let me see. Oh, look, I can zoom in even. Look at me doing that. Here's the kit. When you get the kit, I called it Talking to Bees. And if you go to the kit page, I tell a little bit about the folklore of talking to bees. What it is it's like a tradition, I think, in England and Scotland, though I think that other countries do it too. Um, I've 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 heard other people do it, and it was something that from when I was a little girl, my gran used to talk about. When you have something that happens in your family, a birth, a death, a marriage, an event, and you keep bees, because a lot of people used to be beekeepers, right? You would go out and you would tend to the bees and you would tell the bees your story, and that would soothe you, that would bring you solace. Well, my granddad, he was a farmer here in California in what is known as the Valley of the Heart's Delight, which is the Santa Clara Valley. He was a prune farmer. And so we had bees on his ranch because those bees were instrumental in pollinating those trees. So I've always loved bees. I've always loved that tradition. And so I use some of these great bee charms. We're going to look at those. Some check glass, some Chinese knotting cord, and of course, front and center, my favorite color is the lapis blue soft flex. So let's talk about what comes into your kit. I'm going to pop this open. So when you get your kit, you're going to empty it out. And this, I'm also streaming this broadcast to the Bead Shop YouTube channel. So you'll be able to find these instructions not only on the Softflex YouTube channel, but on the Bead Shop YouTube channel as well. It's up as a project, though the project page isn't quite completed, but it'll have the link to the video as well. And I'll have a few step-by-steps so you can follow it along. So don't stress that, oh my gosh, I've got to make this right now with Kate, you know, and do all of this as she's doing it. Don't worry, this resource will be with you, and you'll be able to do this at your leisure, okay? So what you get, of course, is this 10-foot spool of the dark blue lapis. We at Bead Shop have added some colors of the soft flex as well in the 10-foot spool. So you can find a lot of our favorite colors there, including that turquoise, which is gorgeous. You'll find a whole bunch. So you'll be able to recreate this if you're like, you know, Kate, I've got some of this stuff in my stash. I just want to make it. You know, we carry a whole bunch of the different Chinese knotting cords. I'm using it in the 0.5 millimeter, but you will be able to kind of supplement your own with some of your own things and add as you'd like. Okay, so so here's the soft flex. You get the soft flex in the kit. You'll get 3 spools of this 0.5 millimeter Chinese knotting cord. Now, this necklace is based on what we call our Bollywood style of macrame, which basically means we've got a core. In this case, it's soft flex. Sometimes we do it on Chinese knotting cord, but the beauty of soft flex is that we can use beads that have smaller holes like these guys. So we're using that 0.019 soft flex as the base, and I'll talk about that more in a minute. But we're using the 0.5 millimeter as the macrame over the top. And I've chosen 3 colors in your kit. You get the teal, you get the Williamsburg blue, and you get this frosted lilac. In the kits I'm selling today, our teal was out of stock. So I changed the kits that you're getting today. If you ordered today, your green, instead of the teal, is going to be this spring leaf. It's really close, and I don't know, I might even like it a little bit better. I don't know. I love this color. So if you're ordering today, this is the color you'll get. Everything else will be the same. Okay. And then the beads, I know, Sarah, you love check fire polish and check glass beads as much as I do, right?
I do.
I mean, come on. They're so
affordable, beautiful. Yeah, they're great.
And so perfect to string with soft flex, right? I used these drops. These drops are in the kit. I do a soft flex earring. We have a page on our website called Softflex Projects. And I
Ooh.
do a Softflex earring. I wear them all the time. I'm trying to see if they're here. I was hoping to see if I could find it, but our Softflex earring is like two little Softflex necklaces that dangle off of an ear wire. And I wear that thing all the time. It features these drops. It's really great. So if you go and you jump over to beadshop.com to our projects, you go under, I think it's just under, I'm going to look real quick here. The Softflex projects, we have a whole bunch of really fun things. I think it's under techniques.
Okay, you've been using Softflex in projects for over 30 years.
Yeah, right.
Isn't that easy to think about? Like,
Yeah.
that's a long time.
Yeah. I mean, it is. Here we go. Softflex earrings. I'm going to grab the link and I'm going to put it in the chat, because not only is Softflex amazing for, now I have to find the broadcast again. You know how it is, you have like too many links up, Sarah, and you're like, wait a minute, where did my link go? Here it is. Here's the broadcast. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat. But not only is Softflex amazing for necklaces, there it goes, it just went in. It's fantastic for earrings. We use them to make hoop earrings out of. I use it for those drops. So check those out. I think you will
You'll
really enjoy it for sure. Okay, so back to what's in your kit. You've got these. You've got the drops, the check glass drops. You've got these cathedral cuts, and you've got this 4mm fire polish. And so if we look at these strands, this necklace consists of 3 strands. This top strand, I used the 4mm, and I paired it with the frosted lilac and the small bee charm. This second strand here, and in the instructions, I actually think I call this strand the first strand and this strand the second strand, but it's a visual, you'll see it. This strand here, I used the cathedral cuts, and I matched the Softflex, or I matched the beads to this Williamsburg blue here. And then this last one, I did the drops, and I'll pair it with the green, either the teal or the spring leaf, depending on what's in your kit. Again, if you purchase your kit today, you're going to get the spring leaf. If you got it on pre-sale, we shipped out the teal to you. Okay, and the teal is actually what I'm going to be using today. So you can do this in any configuration, right? You don't have to duplicate what I've done here. What I did was I dedicated one style of bead per strand. So you can see here the 4mm, here's the cathedral, and here's the drop. Now, you could, if you wanted, also make this into one long necklace, right? It doesn't have to be 3 strands. This could be a single strand with these 2 charms kind of, you know, along the way, the beads. You could go and mix up your colors of your Chinese knotting cord, cut a long piece of Softflex, and just do something that wraps around several times. That would look amazing. The closure that you make, we're going to use a toggle bar, and then I'm going to make a loop gathering all 3 of these strands together that the toggle bar will go in. You could just do a single strand, make a loop and a macrame strand, and it would look amazing. So don't feel like you have to stick to what I'm telling you here. The beauty of these projects, and I know like when Sarah and Kristen, when they do their projects as well, it's an amazing, really fun jumping off point, right? Starting point. And then it's great to be able to put your own spin on things, right? So first, what you do when you get your kit, we're going to add those jump rings by just opening those jump rings and adding them to your charms here. And you can see I've already done that. Let me, oh, Ellen, oh dear, Ellen Sanders, she received 4 millimeter teal rather than 5 mil. The 4 mil, my friend, will work, but if you want the 5 millimeter, Ellen, go ahead and just email us over at info@beadshop.com, and we'll just send you over a 5. Okay, I have one here. So, just let us know, okay? So sorry about that. Once in a while, those little glitches happen, but the beauty of a live broadcast is we can do customer service right on the fly.
Isn't that nice?
Right? We can fix things right away.
These things happen.
They do. They do. And you know what? I put those kits together, so that glitch was my fault. I'll take the blame. I'll take it. I'll take one for the team. So can you see here, I used, again, this small bead is here with these smaller beads. The larger one is here. And again, the jump rings are just attached. I used the round ring on the smaller one and the oval ring on this one. You could do whatever it is that works for you. What I did want to point out here, though, for you folks, in order to keep, as we macrame, and I'm going to show you this from the beginning, and I'll show you how to do this, but as you add a charm, I wanted to point this out now before I forgot, honestly. Let me zoom in a bit so you can see it. This one here, this smaller ring, if you don't have the little beads around it, can you see there's a 4 millimeter bead here and here? They kind of act as stoppers to go in between, so that the charm here stays in between. What I did was on both of these is I macrameed, I put this bead on, did another macrame, put that bead on, and then continued. Then when I wanted to add my charm, I'm going to turn this over so you can see how I slipped that charm underneath the macrame right there, so it really holds it in place. You could just put the jump ring around everything. That would be okay too, but I just did that little extra bit by putting it through that macrame stitch. And the beauty of using Softflex as the base, right, is that if this metal jump ring comes into contact with that Softflex, we don't have anything to worry about, right? Softflex is so durable that we're not going to have any issue, okay? I did the same thing with this one, and since this jump ring is oval, it's a little bit bigger, right? This, I don't know who closed this, me. I'm looking at me. I'm the culprit. I didn't close it quite as perfectly as it should be. So let me just, are you that way, Sarah? You see like a flaw and you're like, let me just fix that right now.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm like,
details matter.
Right, they do.
Sometimes customers will comment because I make so many things on the fly. I don't pre-plan my design. So after I will be like, I didn't really like that. And I'll swap something around and then take a picture. And they'll be like, aha, I see what you did there.
I see what you did there. Exactly. I just can't keep it. Oh, see, it's still not quite perfect. There we go. There we are. Okay. So I did the same thing here. And with these small beads, it does keep it kind of in place. But this jump ring is a little larger. So if I hadn't anchored it through that macrame stitch, it would have jumped over. Now, that's not a terrible thing. If you say, you know what, I'm putting this bead, I'm going to macrame all the way down. I'm just going to put this charm on and I'm going to let this charm travel across here. That's fine too. If you like that look, more power to you. But again, what I did was bead, macrame, 4 millimeter fire polish, a macrame stitch or two, another 4mm fire polish, and continued on. Then when I finished up, I opened this jump ring and slid it under that macrame stitch so it stays in place. Okay, so those are the two details for those. So the way that we begin, and I begin all of these the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the start of this, how we'd start all of them. I'm going to show you how I macrame the count for this one, the count for this, and how I do these drops. Then we're going to move on to finishing up this strand, and then I'm going to show you how we put them all together. Okay, so let me zoom out just a hair there, and let me switch boards out. It was all nice on the board, but I moved it. So I've got my design tray here. So let me get that into the shot.
And you still have some of these kits available.
I do. We have about, I can check on the back end, but as of the beginning of this broadcast, friends, we had about 17 kits remaining. So if you want that kit, now is the time. Hop on over to, how many, Miranda? 13. We've got 13. They're going down.
It sold out initially, and Kate made 25 more that just went up this morning.
Yes.
We're already down to 13, so you know what that means.
That's right. It means get in there.
Quick. Yeah, get on it quick.
Don't let your cart languish, my friends, because just because you put something in your cart does not mean that it's yours until you complete checkout. That's right. What I've done here, I'm going to jump back to my front camera here for just a second so you can see how I measure this. So with the 3 strands that I've cut for the necklace, I cut those at about 24 inches each. My finished necklace, I want to be about maybe 19 inches-ish. So we need some extra on the ends to get that loop done, to get all of that done. So each of those I cut at 24. This one, since this is just going to be like a single strand or whatever, I just use the rest of my soft flex on my spool. But, one of my tips when I'm measuring for a necklace with soft flex, I come in, I bring it around my neck. I go, yeah, I want this to be about this long. I'm going to need about this much for crimping one side, about this much for crimping the other side. So I'm going to need about this much. And then I cut it off my spool. So that's my very, very scientific method for doing that. Tell me, Sarah, that I'm not alone.
Yes, you're not alone.
Okay. Shoo. That's good.
I do the same thing.
Right? So let me get back to this camera here. So what I do, so as not to damage my soft flex, because I'm going to clamp it to my board, I'm going to put a little bit of tape on the end, and I'm going to leave myself a couple of inches, right? So I know that if I do that macrame and put the toggle on the end, and then I do a macrame loop, whichever end this is going to be, I have enough here. And so this, I'm going to slide it just a hair. There we go. And I'm going to use my clip, and I'm going to use that clip, that tape rather, to clip onto my board. Okay, so now my soft flex isn't clipped. It's not getting damaged in any way, anything like that. Now for macrameing, my board or my macrame needs, let me pull this back. The base of my macrame is what I want to say, needs to be taut on my board. Okay, so I'm going to come in, I'm going to put another little tape flag here on the other side. And I'm going to use that to hold my clamp as well.
What a great tip this is, you guys.
Well, you know, it's
so smart.
It's helpful. And we've been doing the macrame. I'm going to pull it down this way. There we go. There we are. That's nice and tight. We want it to be nice and as I say, taut on this board, because if your macrame, if your base strand is a little loose, your macrame isn't going to be as even as you want it to be. Okay. So now the same thing here. Let's see what color. I'm really in love with like the blue on blue tone. So let me use that. I'm going to use this Williamsburg blue. So again, the way that I measure here, this comes in 10-yard spools, so you've got plenty. Now, the way that I measured for this, because again, I want some extra cord at the end to work with after I've macrameed. So what I do is I do like half a wingspan. I get this here. I go from out here to my nose. 1. I do 2. And I do about 3. I double it over then, and I look at it. And I'll give you a measurement so you know what this is. Okay, I won't leave you hanging. Let me measure this for you. Let me get my tape measure out of my drawer. There it is. So this doubled over, you can see there's my center. Let me measure. This is, it's about 45, it's about 90 inches is what I pulled out. And you'll know after your first one, if you're like, yeah, I didn't do that much macrame, you can do a little less. But and you can add cord too, right? It's not the end of the world. But I like not having to stop to add the cord. All right, let me move that back. Hey, Miranda, you know what I'm going to need? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to need you to find where the heck we put those thread burners from this weekend. Because I'm going to need my thread burner eventually. So thank goodness for Miranda. So let me show you. The reason that we did this so long, and I said this again, I said this earlier, but I'm going to say it one more time for emphasis. Oh, look, here comes that thread burner. Perfect. Is that when we put these all together, we're going to have a little bit of this soft flex exposed at the end. Maybe we'll see if we want to show some of this, we can, right? And if we don't, if we kind of pull it up, we can do that too. But the beauty of soft flex is, and that's why I love using it as the base for floats. Janice and I used it for floats just a couple weeks ago. It looks so nice, and the colors are so nice. So it doesn't matter if it's exposed or not. Karen K says Kate's lost without Miranda, and it's true. And Karen K, we're working on your email. I was going to try and email you before. See, it's like customer service on the fly. I love it. So you'll hear from us after the show, my friend. So I'm going to start here. I've got that 3 inches or so up here. I'm going to come in with my 0.5 millimeter Chinese knotting cord. I'm going to bring it around that soft flex. And now we're going to start to macrame. Let me get a little tighter in here so you can see this. The macrame is just your basic macrame stitch, right? It's going to be 2 half hitches that create 1 full square knot. And macrameing against the base of soft flex, I am hooked. I haven't done it before, but I thought you know, we had to use Softflex in this project, obviously, for Softflex appreciation, customer appreciation week. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to do it on Softflex. And it works beautifully. Now, let's say that you wanted your base to be a little bit thicker. We just double up on the Softflex, right? We'd put 2 pieces of Softflex together, right? It would still look, it would be great. It would give it a little more bulk. You could also, if you wanted it to be a little bit thinner, you'd pop down your Chinese knotting cord size from 0.5 down to 0.4. If you wanted it a little heavier, you'd pop it up to 0.8, right? And that's my mom. My mom loves working with Softflex because she doesn't have to thread a needle. It's true. My mom's been a Softflex girl for as long as I have as well. I think she has got one of those old spools with the silver. I
feel like your mom was at one of the first Great Beat extravaganzas.
Yes.
And I absolutely fell in love with her that day.
Oh, yeah. We streamed it together. I think it was the first time that my mom and I had seen each other in COVID, and we got a hotel room, and we did the broadcast from that hotel room. Yeah.
So good.
We were babes in the woods. We didn't know what we were doing. Right?
Oh my gosh. You guys could have a live stream, just the 2 of you, and it would be so entertaining.
Well, we have a lot of fun for sure. So I've gotten my my Chinese knotting cord around the back of my Softflex. Again, remember, this is the 0.019 or the medium size. You could go finer with your Softflex or heavier. I probably wouldn't go any finer than 0.014. Probably I wouldn't go down to 0.010, but you certainly could go up or double up if you wanted to. Okay. So to start with your first half hitch, we're going to bring our CKC around behind the Softflex, and we're going to create a loop. And I call this the Q and the P method, or the P and Q method. I make the loop, and you can see here it's pointing to my left like the letter Q. Okay, so there's the Q loop. Now, this top strand, the strand above that's coming under the Softflex, goes over this strand that's coming out above the Softflex, under the Softflex strand, and up through that loop. Okay, like that. And now we tighten. Okay. So now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do it in the opposite direction. We're going to make a P. There's the P. Can you see that? Like the letter P. We do the same thing. Top cord goes over that cord, under the Softflex, and up through the loop. Now these 2 half hitches, what it gives me is 1 complete square knot, and I'm going to try and get a little closer in there. We also have a under our learning in our skill builders, we have a skill builder on how to do this basic knot, as well as some variations, and I'll have it linked on the project page when I get this project page completed after the show. So you can see we've got a little scallop there to the right, a little scallop there to the left. And we just continue to create that knot. We go the P side and across, and the Q side and across. Now, this would also make a fantastic bracelet too, right? You just use a crimp tube. You put your crimp tube on, your clasp, and it would just connect right to your macrame bracelet. So instead of having to do all kinds of fanciness, right, like a loop or, do some kind of thing to close up a macrame bracelet, it's very easy to macrame the base on Softflex. Then you'll be able to just crimp it, right?
Love that.
Super easy.
I love this color. This blue and this cording is so pretty.
It's so pretty. We carry a lot of this fun Chinese knotting cord. You know, when I came back to bead shop from a little bit of a hiatus, Janice had introduced this cord and had done a lot of really cool projects with it. And I was so into it. I'm like, macrame, I'm in. So it's really, really fun. But I think the addition of this base with the Softlex is really fantastic because the closure, it makes it so simple. So I'm going to show you a little something here, a little trick. Let's say, my friends, Sarah, you should have never said I had 2 hours. You should have never said that, because I'm like, all right then,
Perfect.
Let's go. I'm going to try and, so, you know, I'm going to try and pull it together. Let's say, though, my friends, if we wanted to change colors, let me get another color here. Let me get that, let me get this purple, the frosted lilac. I'm just going to cut a short piece, right? This is just like a foot maybe or something. But what you can do, I'm going to carry along this Chinese knotting cord. I'm going to bring the purple underneath, and we're just going to start macrameing. I'm going to come down. Let me bring this together. I'm going to clip this so it's all kind of tight. Right there. Now I'm going to come in. Whoops, I think I ended. This is another little trick here. You can see here, there's a little scallop on that end, that side. That means that that is actually the side that you start your loop from. My default is to start on the left-hand side, but this, so it lays correctly, I actually need to make the loop on the right-hand side, the P side. There we go. And you'll see that when I tighten that up, see how that just fits right in there. Now, since this is now together, I'll take this clip off and I'll continue to macrame. And then once I've got a couple of stitches, I'm going to fix it a little bit. Sarah, I don't know if you're having some stormy weather. You're up up in California from me, but we are a little, it looks a little stormy here in the Central Valley.
Yeah, I heard a storm was rolling into California in the southern area from like a tropical something ocean. And LA might even experience some flooding.
Yeah.
Northern California might get some dry lightning, which is never good.
No, it started a big fire up here in the Sierras. We had a dry lightning storm a couple of weeks ago. And so let's just all hope for the best. If we've got a storm, let's make sure it's a real wet one, right?
No, that would be nice.
Yeah. I'll take some
it was 90 degrees here yesterday.
Yeah, girl.
It's 74.
Yeah, it's better.
It's very confusing.
I know, right?
It's like, what do I wear?
What am I doing?
What's happened today?
I know, right? So see here how I've transitioned from this one right here to this purple, okay? And then I could carry this one along underneath, and I'd bring this blue one back up, right? So so that's just a little tip. Let's say, though, that I wanted to just get rid of this purple, right? I would come in, I'm going to glue this down. This is how we end it. The glue I have is this GS Hypo Cement that's always a little bit of a challenge with the lid, but it's such good glue that we kind of work with it. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this final thread there and there. I'm going to come in, I'm going to tie one more knot over all of this. And as I'm tightening up that knot, I'll get a little more glue in there. I don't want to be too messy with it. As my friend Laura says, ... not a lot.
I love that.
That's how I learned. So this is going to glue. I'm going to let that dry for just a bit, and then we'll come in. That's why I wanted that thread burner. Okay. So, because I'm going to thread burn those away. But now we'll just continue on down. Okay. So you can also do this. I wanted to mention just these short little macrame bits. You can just do them along the wire like little beads or something here too, right? You could have just a little short bit of macrame, then do some beading, right? Have them kind of, move around even if you want, or float, then do another little section. This technique you could do a lot with. You just have to kind of put your creative thinking cap on, right? So let me show you, now that you've seen this, let's take a look at these samples one more time so it puts things into perspective. So here, when I started, here's the 4 millimeter. The 4 mil, I started with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I did 6 square knots, or 6 half hitch knots rather, or 3 full square knots. Okay. Then I put on a bead, came around the bead, and continued on. I'm going to show you that step next. But this purple one has 6 knots to start, and then I think I did 3 to get them a little bit closer. You decide. You can space them out a little bit more or a little less. But again, this has, and to be honest, some have 3, and I think some have 4. Whatever, right? Don't sweat it, right? As long as it looks visually even, right? We're fine. Let me
Would you thread all 3 cords through the bead? I think I see the cords wrapping around the bead.
Yeah, around the bead. Now, it's a great question, Susan. You could, if you had a bead hole that's large enough. Let's say that you had like an African trade bead or a metal bead that had a big hole. You certainly could thread all the cords underneath the bead, but since these are check glass, they fit perfectly on that soft flex, but are not large enough to accommodate 2 more strands of the CKC. So we go around the sides of the bead, and that just gives us, that's what we call kind of our classic Bollywood style of macrame. And why we called it Bollywood, I have no idea. I think because we all love movies from India, and we love like the color and the dancing. And probably one of us, when we made the sample the first time, was actually watching a Bollywood movie. And so that's probably why we call it Bollywood, to be honest. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and then 15. You get a whole bunch of beads on the strand, so you'll have some left over, right? So you can use them in other strands or set them aside to use them in another project, okay? So this total, what I call door to door, this one is completed here. I'll give you a measurement for the purple. This one runs about 13 inches. And you can see when I close it up, we're going to have some of this bare soft flex, and it'll allow us to kind of adjust for length. You can make it a little bit longer if you want, but I've gone 13 inches, okay, for that. Then the next one, this one with the cathedral cut, they're called cathedral cuts because the beads look like they're cut in little windows, right? You can see, again, I've started with the macrame here, and I think I did about 10. Put on the check glass bead, came around, right? Came around the bead with my cord. And then I think I did half. I think I did 5. So I start out typically with what the long one is, like the last one was 6. So I did 3 in between. I think this is 10. And then I did 5 in between. And I used 2, 4, 6, 7 beads per side. And then I use the little fire polish here. Now you've got some of these left, so you could alternate. You could put one of these, the big cathedrals, a 4 mil, and then a big cathedral, right? You could spread it out a little bit if you wanted, but I just did this one, this single in this strand. Really feel free to, create. So I did this one about an inch shorter. This is about 12 inches here. Okay, my finished my finished necklace, I am going for about 19 inches for me. Okay, now this final one, the last strand, is with the drops, and I'm going to actually put this one up if I can get it untangled.
I love it with the drops.
Right? I love the drops too. And to be honest, I was a little worried. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to order the drops and I know I'll be able to make it work. And thankfully I did. I love the way these look. And so what I did with these drops is I did them in groups of 3, right? Because I like to see this little space in between. And so I think it's kind of fun. So we're going to measure this one out in just a second. But let me show you. I'm going to go back to this here real quick. Let's go ahead and thread burn. I want to show you how I use the thread burner. Now, you could just clip this away, right? You could clip it away if you wanted to with just like, your scissors or whatever. But the thread burner, we carry these at Bead Shop. Do you carry a thread burner, Sarah?
We do not.
Oh, okay. Yeah. A thread burner, I think, especially for this Chinese knotting cord, is great. What it is, it's a cauterizing tool. I come in, it's just battery powered. I come in, I get that little tip. I put whatever thread is on the inside. Then I press the button, heat the tip, and then it just slices right through and cuts away. Okay.
That's cool.
And it also kind of cauterizes the thread. Now, it's not appropriate for cutting soft flex because soft flex has that wire base on the area. Yeah. So you don't want to do that. But if you're doing any threads, like let's say you're using nylon threads with soft flex, I mean, you could use the same thing. You could use Ceylon or Eslon here. Whatever. You can use a thread burner. Then I come in. Sometimes the ends, when you heat them, there's a little bit. See, there's a little point rough there, right? Yeah. It's a little rough. So I just come in, I heat the tip, and I just
soften it.
Yeah, tap it down just like that. Okay.
Great tip.
And I'll do the same thing on the other side. Just like that. Tap, tap, tap. You don't want to be too heavy-handed with your thread burner because you don't want to cauterize or burn through anything, right? Just a little slip of the hand and you'll be like, oh, I'm going to have to do that over. So just be careful, okay, when you're doing that. Let me show you how to add some beads onto this, okay? And we're going to add the charm here too so you can see it, okay? So let me just do a couple more knots here. Do a time check. We're doing all right. We're doing okay.
You're doing great. Great. Yeah. And for anyone who's just joined us, this kit is still available at beadshop.com. So there were only 13 about 15 minutes ago. So just be aware there aren't many left. She did a second drop this morning, and you may want to go grab it quickly before it's gone.
Yeah, before it sells out.
Again.
Again. Now let me grab one of these cathedral cuts. I'm going to come in. Sometimes what I do, if I know what the pattern is, honestly, Sarah, I do some pre-stringing of the pattern. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to pre-string a couple of these. I'm going to pre-string this guy here. And then I think I have, where did those, I thought I had some 4 millimeters open, but I'll just go ahead and, oh, here they are. Here they are. Don't fall off the strand, please. Let me get, I'm going to do one of these.
So today Kate's using medium, but Kate often uses our 014 fine.
I do.
This is kind of an unusual treat to see Kate have the medium.
No, I'll tell you. And Janice, Janice and I were talking about it. Janice is such a fan of the 0.014.
Mm-hmm.
She does so much work with that. But I, over the years, sometimes we get little surprises from Softflex, and there's a little Softflex spool in there of like a color, and it's the 0.019. And I'm like, I hoard those. I have them in I have a special box that says Softflex. I'm looking at it right now. So that's where I hoard them. That's where I hide them.
Nice.
So you can see I slid that bead up, that cathedral cut. I just brought the strands around and I tied it underneath. Now it doesn't really matter since the bead is on there. It doesn't matter if you do your loop from your left or your right. Just kind of start, okay, and then do the opposite. So however many cords, or however many knots rather, you want to do in between, that's what you do, right? You get that nice and tight there. And once the beads are on, your cord is a little bit heavier. So sometimes you have to just kind of keep tightening it up. But see here, you just keep going in between 2 of those knots, 1 to the left and 1 to the right. 2 of those half hitches makes 1 complete square knot. Okay, so that's 1 half. Here's the other half. And here's the full knot. Okay, so you could, if you wanted to, do a pattern like I was talking about. Like if you wanted to do something close up, you could put all of these together, bring the thread around, have a little bit of thread showing so it's a little more thread forward, or you could just put 1 or 2 knots in between. So I'll slide 1 up, give it a knot, slide my next one up, give it a knot in the opposite direction, slide this one up, and give it a knot. Right? Doesn't that look pretty?
I love it. This is what got me started making jewelry, was macrameing.
I love it.
I initially loved. I was doing it more with the kind of material that you use for embroidery.
Right, like just embroidery floss, sure.
Yeah, but it's fun to see it in this thicker material.
Yeah,
so beautiful.
Yeah, the Chinese knotting cord, or what we call CKC for short, is really fun to work with, and I think it really elevates things, right? Really elevates it.
Well, and the colors are spectacular.
Yeah, they really are. So see here how we're doing that, and look at how lovely this would be just as a bracelet. You could also do this just as a necklace, or you could wrap and do a bracelet that wraps around twice, right? I mean, whatever, right? That's the beauty of it. Let me show you how to do a drop. And folks, Sarah, do you want to mention about the giveaways while I get this?
Yeah. We're doing a big giveaway at the end of the program. You'll get a 10-foot spool of Softlex beading wire in bone from Softlex. And then Kate very graciously is offering a prize as well. I think it was a gift card.
It is. It's a gift card, a $25 gift card, my friend.
That's big. So we're going to have pick two winners, but you must be present at the end of the program to claim your prize. So stick around.
And that gift card will be good on anything on beadshop.com, including our colors of colored Softlex.
Ooh, I love that.
And our Softlex crimps, all of that. Okay, so here we go. I put on my 3 because I did these in groups of 3, but you can also do them in singles. Let me attach this to my board. So we've got it. I need a tape flag. I don't want to damage my Softlex in any way. So,
who would do that?
I know, right? We've got to make sure that our Softlex. So see, I've got my little tape flag right there. So now this is ready to go. So what I do is I just let my drops dangle. I let gravity do its thing. Then I start from the side. You can see here, there's that little scallop. That means that that's my looping side. Okay, there's my looping side. So I get my drop coming up. I'll get these. You guys slide down. You're not on stage yet. You get in the wings. Now I come in and I go over. I go under my center cord and through the loop, just like I was doing regular macrame, but the dangle kind of dangles at the bottom there, right? See, we just see the little tip of that drop. So now I do the opposite direction. So I do one full square knot in between, a half hitch and then a full square. See how this first half hitch wants to loosen? So you're the boss. You tell it what to do. We're going to tighten it, and then we're going to quickly come and tighten the next one. Okay. Now we'll slide our next friend up. Now, if you don't want these to be that clustered together, put some more drops in between. I mean, more knots in between the drops is what I meant to say. So here we'll go to the right, macrame it up. And see, now you see that little tip right there. Go macrame it to the left. Slide number 3 up. Wash, rinse, repeat. And this is also a great way. Let's say that you wanted a collar of just all drops with a little bit of cord showing. Wouldn't this be great as, like, you know, you could do 5 or 10 or have that just be in the center of the necklace? It would make a great centerpiece. But look at how, and look at even the top looks great.
It looks good. I love the drops in it.
And the only reason we can do this design is because we're doing it on a base of Softlex.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
It's awesome.
So here are the techniques then. You've seen how to start it. You have seen how to add some, a different color. You've seen how to thread burn. You've seen how to macrame around a bead, how to create a beaded pattern, and how to macrame the drops in. Okay, so let's go to this one. I've got a macrame like I mean it. Let me zoom out. So Sarah, while I'm setting this up, if you wanted to talk about your kits or any Softlex business, now is a perfect time.
I got it right here.
You're so
I was
good.
going to show you guys that beautiful pouch that Kristen helped design using her painting. This is what it looks like in real life. It is absolutely gorgeous. We put a few beading treats inside of it, but the main gift is this beautiful pouch. And Kristen added this artwork to her Redbubble website. So you can actually get this printed on a few other items as well if you'd like to add to it. But you can get this for free on the Softflix Company website using coupon code CAWTREAT on orders that are over $129 subtotal. With the beads and the supplies inside of it, this is a $50 retail value. So it's a big gift for us. It's probably the biggest gift we've ever given away. But it does require you to spend a little bit of money on the website for it to make sense. But it's easy to get to $129 when you're looking at our kit for the Great Bead Extravaganza, which is the Black Brilliance kit. That's coming up next month.
Yeah,
so fast. We've got our Wicked Brew kit, which is our monthly kit that I'll be unboxing next Wednesday. Both of these are perfect for Halloween season, although they're not overtly Halloweenish. So those are good to look at. I saw someone saying they're trying to collect all the colors of Softflex. We just did a full color bundle where you can get every color in 019 in one spot. And you get an automatic 15% off.
I saw that on there. I was totally tempted, and I have a bunch of colors here. I want all those colors together.
I mean, it was a customer idea, sort of. They asked me, which trios do I need to get to ensure I have every color of Softflex?
Right.
I was like, oh, that's an interesting question.
Yeah.
And I realized they were doing it because you get a little discount when you buy in a trio.
Right.
And I was like, oh, well, what if I just made it easy?
Yeah, right.
I'll just make it so you can get every color and then we don't have to worry about it.
Right.
We're coming back to you, Kate, to see what
you perfect.
Table.
Yeah, I'm going to continue. Let me zoom in just a little bit so you can see as I'm going along. So with this one here, like I said, I'm doing them in groups of 3. I started out with 10 plain macrame stitches, and then I added these in groups of 3. Now you can add these in whatever number you like, really.
Yeah, but I thought the center, like 10 of them in a row.
It would be really pretty. So let me see where I'm at. So we have the bee charms. I put the charms on the other 2 strands because these dangles kind of act like charms. You know, they dangle down. So the next thing that we're going to have to think about is the order of these strands. Now, I think I have an order in my head, but it doesn't always shake out that way, right? So I'm going to get through this second strand and then, or this second bundle that I'm putting on here, and then we'll do some.
How fast this comes together, you guys.
Yeah, it really is fast. Right?
So fast. This would be great for gift making if you're starting to think about the holidays.
Definitely.
You could bust out a bunch of these pretty quickly.
Yeah, and even just the single strand, Sarah, you don't need to make this like I'm being extra with the, with the 3-strand necklace. You can do the 3-strand necklace for your bestie, and then everybody else that's lower on the pole can get a single strand.
Yeah, totally.
Have I ever been guilty of that? Yes. I'm all, my mom gets the big fancy one, and then everybody else
she deserves it.
Right, the others. But handmade gifts, folks, there's so many projects, that Softlex has done on their YouTube channel. There's so much learning over on Bead Shop. We have over 1,000 videos.
Isn't that wild?
That I do. I'm going into my 10th year of live broadcasting twice a week, Sarah, on the Bead Shop YouTube channel. You can catch me every Wednesday and Friday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific. And I know a lot of you who are watching today are regular watchers. Sometimes I have a really polished project, and sometimes I fall flat on my face. So, tune in to see what happens, right?
I very much doubt that, Kate.
Well, you never know, right? That's the fun of doing this live. Okay, so I think I might be close to a halfway point. So let's do some measuring, okay, and see what this is all about.
Ooh, it's so pretty.
So isn't it? I mean, come on, look. Just look at it. I love it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe this is my center. Where are my other strands? Here's this strand. And I was trying to decide if this is going to be my top or my bottom, whatever. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this. Maybe drops in between. So I'm kind of graduating because this bee is small.
Mm-hmm.
This one's kind of medium sized.
Mm-hmm.
That one is larger, maybe. I don't know. I think that's right. So let me come over here and just kind of look.
How do we make that happen now?
Yeah, well, I'm going to show you, right? So we need to kind of graduate, right? So this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I suspected 6 is the center, right? And here I'm going to leave a little bit of the soft flex exposed, or I can come and macrame up here, but I think I'm going to leave a little bit exposed so we can see what it looks like, right? So what we need to do here, I am going to, is that right? That's correct there. That's correct there. So let me, I'm going to do just a couple more on here because I'll be able to, hang on, I'm just thinking this through for a second, thinking it through. You know how it is.
Yes.
Sarah, when you're like, okay, I've got my end game. So how do we get there?
How do we get there?
Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of these pieces here, right? Because the way that we close this off is going to be exactly the same on both sides. Okay. So we're just going to tackle this finished side. Okay. Because we know these are correct. This is correct. This is the center. And then I can just come in and finish this side up later. So let's get rid of all of this extra here. Okay. I see some of our friends. A big shout out to our buddy Donna Chandler. Donna, it's always good to see you. Donna's going through a little bit of a cancer battle, but she's coming out the other end being a warrior. So she's been such a great supporter of small business, beating small businesses, as so many of you are. It's just joyous to see so many familiar faces because you know what? We are very fortunate that we have the support of such an amazing community.
Seriously.
So we're very, very fortunate. I'm going to come in, I'm going to add that little bit of GS hypo. I'm going to do the same thing right here. We'll do a little bit of that GS. The other side of these, the way we started, it's already finished off, right? So you just have to finish off this side. Let me zoom in a little bit. Sorry, I was a little far out so you can see it. Let me go ahead and thread burn. If this were real jewelry making time and not demo time, I would have let this GS just dry a little bit more, but we're not gonna stand on ceremony. It'll be fine. So I'm gonna come in. I like to put it through the center of my thread burner, press that button, and slice this through. I think that my my battery is. We had some heavy use of these this weekend, so I think my battery is
wearing down.
Yeah, but it's still working. It's still working. If you have a thread burner and it's a battery one and you don't use it for a little bit of time, make sure and remove that battery out. So see there? So now it's finished. So look, this is ready to just put a clasp on there, and you are ready to go. This will make such a really lovely, just a really lovely holiday gift, birthday gift around the holidays, New Year's gifts.
And you could do it just by itself.
Yeah, just by itself.
You went above and beyond. I mean, basically doing 3 designs that can all go together. But you could do any of these on their own too.
Yeah, you could. Exactly. You could just get our hammered toggle clasp that we carry. We've got more of those on Bead Shop. We have the toggle bar. We sell the bar and the loop separately, so you can decide. It's kind of a choose your own adventure kind of game. Whoops! And see how I thread burnt it, but I left them close together, so they adhered back. So you tell it you're in charge. There we go. Okay, so now here's this one, and this is when I use a whole bunch of tape. And you're going to laugh at this, but this is how I size. Okay, so we know that this is my longest one, this is my shortest one, and this is my medium one. And when I went in here, these two kind of went together. What I'm doing is I'm lining up the centers because that's what needs to line up. Okay? Like this. And there needs to be a little bit of space, right? So let me get this tape off too. So now I'm going to come in and I'm going to bring these all together right here, pinch it, and I'm going to bring it so that it lines up with the top of this macrame right here. So I'm going to come in, maybe I'll use a clamp. I need to mark it somehow. You know what? I'm going to use tape. I always just use tape. Soft flex and tape. I should have bought stock in Scotch tape decades ago because that's what I use. So see, now I have this nice, all 3 of these ready to go on this side. So depending on whether you're doing the loop side or the toggle side, it's all the same. Okay. I start with the toggle bar because the toggle bar it has to be sized first so I get the loop correct on the second side. Okay. If I make the loop too big, like if I just make it an arbitrary size and then I put the toggle bar on the other side, the loop might not be sized correctly. So I do the toggle first and then I do the loop. Now, if you don't want to macrame this and you have crimps at home, there aren't any crimps in your kit. Okay. You're going to need some larger crimps, like 3mm crimps or whatever. You could just bring all 3 of these through, put a crimp tube on, all 3 of them through, back through, and crimp this down, right? But I'm going to be extra because you know me.
Miss Extra.
I like to be extra. I'm going to come in, I'm going to cut one, I don't know, about a foot of this, I guess, of the CKC. Great place to introduce a 4th color if you wanted, whatever, doesn't matter. Now what I do, since it's a little precarious to like connect it to the board, I'm just going to come in very carefully. I'm just going to kind of clip it there so it holds. I use plenty of clips. We carry these clips over on Bead Shop. They're kind of a must have for this. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to macrame all 3 of these strands together. Okay, so we're just going to start. We're going to find our middle. We're going to come around. We're going to go under, and we're just going to start. There we go. Bring it down like that. And I'm going to macrame like I mean it. Okay. What I call Kate speed. I hope I have enough. I cut like a foot. Maybe you want 2 feet, but we're going to live on the edge. If I have to add some, I will. So see what happens here. I'm just going to, we do both sides the same way. Let me show you how I would do the toggle, and then I'm going to mock up the other side as well. It's exactly the same. I'm going to do, let me count. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 half hitches or 4 full square knots. Okay. Now I'm going to slide on my clasp. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be a toggle. I think a toggle looks real nice with this, but this could be like a lobster claw or whatever, and it would just go into the other side if you put a jump ring on the other side like this or whatever. So it doesn't have to be a toggle. Then what I do is, so for the toggle, I bring it back right here. I'll clip it and I macrame back over the top of this. And I'm going to do that. Okay. But let's say that this was just the loop. I've already had my toggle on. I macrame, my guess is, like, let's say that this is on the end over here. Okay. And this is already macramed on. You need to macrame this long enough so that when you bring this back over, and this could also just be a soft flex loop. You could leave the soft flex exposed. That would be pretty too. It doesn't have to be macramed. But you need to figure out how big to make that loop so that this toggle bar, the downfall of a toggle is if you make the loop too big, it's going to fall through, right? So you need to make sure when you create that loop, let me see if I were macrameing over the top of this. Let me measure that length. I bet that's about 1 inch. I bet it's about 1.5 inches. There we go. So you'd start macrame down 1.5 inches, bring that down. This here measures about 3/8 of an inch. And you'll macrame over that 3/8 of an inch to come down to close that loop up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Let me go ahead. I'm going to actually do the toggle. part here now. Okay. Now, what I could also do, if I wanted to reduce my soft flex strands here, I could, but I would have had to get some glue in here. So the beauty of this GS Hypo is I can get the tip of that Hypo tube cement in there and I can get some glue underneath. I'm going to give myself a little bit more glue there. I wasn't really thinking ahead of time, so I'm going to give myself one more knot. But as long as you've macrameed over some glue, now I'm going to reduce my soft flex. I'm going to get rid of this third strand, this little pesky short third strand. Nothing's going to pull out because it's nice and tight. Okay. I'm going to get my cutters, come in, clip. Now I've reduced a strand. This is also a great way, let's say that you, I don't know, you wanted to string more beads, right? So, like a closure for soft flex. Pull these together like this, macrame, over a bunch of different strands. Then you string your beads in some kind of, graduated connection. Macrame on this side, right? This could be a float, beads and crimps. So really think about these projects or these techniques like jumping off points, my friends, right? So I'm going to come in. We're going to bring this over. Now remember, if this were the loop, this would all be macrameed, a large loop. Then I'd come down here and macrame that over. But since this is the toggle, I want this to be kind of close up. So I'm going to come in. We're going to use yet another trusty clip to hold that in place. And it doesn't really matter this time if this soft flex gets bent over. We want it to get nice and close. Okay, so we're going to do this. I'm going to turn everything around because I'm macrameing now from the top of this toggle all the way down. Let me see. Let me adjust my camera so you folks can see that a little bit better. I'm also, here's a really great tip on connecting this. I mean, look at this. This looks like Frankenstein's monster there, right? So like I'm going to electrify it. But what I do here is I get another little piece of cord, a piece of scrap. I wrap it around that toggle. And I clamp it to the board. So it makes everything tight. See that? Now, since it's tight, I can come down and really macrame this. So I'm going to do my first macrame knot over everything. See, it's coming up from the bottom. It's going up and around, up over those two pieces of soft flex, tightening everything down. The first one is always the kicker, right? Always the rascal. But get it in there, get it tight, and I'm going to tie one more, and then I'm going to tighten that soft flex loop a bit. Okay. There we go. See how that's now starting to behave? Okay. Now I'm going to unclamp, see, and pull that soft flex down so that loop isn't real big. See that? Tell it, you're the boss.
Magic.
So look at how nice that loop is there. Now let's go back in, clamp it down, and let's just shoot for the moon, as they say. Get this closed. Now I'm going to add a little bit of glue here. This is tight. I mean, I'm doing this fairly tight, right? So I'm not going to have things pull out, but never hurts.
Yeah, and it's a clasp. So that's
Yeah.
always a tricky area in any
Yeah.
jewelry design, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we want to give it, so see, I added a little bit of that GS. And we'll just keep going. And the thing that I like about doing a clasp this way is that I've done my initial macrame and now I'm going over it. Can you see how it looks a little beefier, you know, a little bit bigger? So it has the visual weight to make it look kind of correct. Does that make sense?
Special.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm going to get rid of like all of this tape and stuff because now it's time to fine tune. And so let me just really carefully make a little slit in that tape to get it off. I use Scotch, but some people like to use painter's tape as well. You could do that, but it's hard to teach an old bead dog new tricks. So I'm going to add a little more glue there, kind of where the curves of the macrame meet, because we're going to prepare to thread burn. I think I'm going to do one more. So it kind of covers that connection. There we are. Good. Good. Now I'm going to start by saying adios to these
Extra wire.
pieces of Soflex. Yeah. And I'm going to cut them one at a time under tension. There's that one. And there's that one. Now I still have a little bit of a tail there. So I'm just going to macrame to cover it up. Why not, right? And again, I think I've got enough here for this side. For the loop, I'd cut at least 2 feet, maybe 2 feet and a little extra. I don't want you to run out. Okay, I kind of have a feeling about how much to cut, but I know some of you actually like measurements, which is totally fair. Okay, there we go. Look at that. Let's pull it off. Let's undo this. Yeah, and look at how clean
That looks great.
that closure is.
If you think that looks great, click that like symbol.
Yes, please.
Give Kate that little bit of pat on the back for making it happen. That was pretty amazing.
Yes. Thank you. It did. I made it happen. I'm going to come in and I'm going to just thread burn. Again, if you're doing this at home, you can go ahead. Yeah, this battery is running down. If you do this at home, let that glue set a little bit longer than I'm doing. But I'll be
rush if you're not on a live video.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So let's lay it out and let's make sure, you know what, I need to find the lid though for the glue so that I don't, let me get it into my field of vision.
One of the tips I've heard you give sometimes, Kate, is maybe even if you've spent the time making your design like this one, and you've gotten to the end, maybe leave it and do the closure the next day when your is fresh.
That is exactly what I do, Sarah. And thank you so much for bringing that up. One of the things that I do, if my design, especially if it's complex, but sometimes also, like if you're getting ready for a show, right? And you're stringing a whole bunch of necklaces, sometimes what I do is I leave the finishing until its own thing, right? Because you don't want everything to all end in tears.
That's for sure.
Right? And sometimes it does, right? You close it and you're like tired and you're rushing. And then all of a sudden you realize, oh my goodness,
I cut the
I crimped
wrong
that wrong, or I
Mhm.
cut the wrong thing, or whatever. But see, look at how this is the taper.
So pretty.
Now, all I'm going to do here, remember, we did that center. We know that this 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the center. It lines up with the small b. It lines up with the center, the large b. So when I bring this around, see here, we've got about the same. We're going to pull this, bring that. This is about the same here. Okay, so line it all up. You get your, this needs to come up. Then you tape. And so I'm going to I'm going to go on forward camera. Bear with me here just a second.
You're doing great.
So that let me take off my tape measure necklace. I'm going to put some tape on this. So
I'm going to send you like a whole box of tape.
Right. We have a whole bunch here.
You and my son, Jack. He could go
Right. Well,
tape
I'm
in
in good company then. Because Jack, I saw him doing a lot of drawing, and that kid,
making something.
He is spectacular, that boy. So you can see, I think I kind of screwed up my spacing. Hold, please, while I do this off camera to make sure that you can see this correctly. There we go.
We will have a live bead sale coming up shortly as our last item of the day. So everybody stay tuned for that at 1 p.m.
There we go.
Oh my gosh, it looks so good.
So look at how it's a little up because I'm trying to rush, but you folks get it. And it doesn't have to, I can't look in the camera and do it because I go from left to right, but it doesn't have to taper perfectly or graduate perfectly either. If these all lay kind of like a neck mess, one on top of the other, even better. But look at how great that looks. I love it.
Are there any of these left? Ask Miranda.
Oh, Miranda, will you check? Look at how great. I'm pretty pleased. So we carry a variety of charms. I'll have the 8. We've got 8 left, 8 and counting.
Only 8 left, you guys.
On the project page by this evening, I'll have the project page finished, and I will link the project page in our newsletter tomorrow. Okay. So it will also have a shopping list. So if you don't have the kit, you can just do a shopping list and choose your own adventure with it. Let me put this back so you can, let me go here. Hang on, everybody. Sorry. I'm also, whoops, I turned off my camera instead of changing my camera. Bear with me just a second. So you can screenshot this before we go. There we go. This is a nice place to screenshot. Let me just get this looking nice here for you. There we go. Stop screwing with it, Richbourg. Just let him screenshot. And let me just zoom in here real quick. And there we go.
Hey, happy birthday yesterday, Kate.
Thank you so much. It was such a fun online celebration. We had such a good time.
I love that.
Really, really fun. I appreciate everyone's really sweet, sweet wishes. But I think this is fun. So folks, when you get the kit, if you want to do it in all three, that's the way that you do it. If not, and you're like, you know what, I want some more clasps and things, we carry this hammered toggle. You can use things out of your stash. But I think the marriage of this Chinese knotting cord and the soft flex is a match made in heaven, 100%.
It looks great. Good job, Kate.
Thanks. And we'll have this tutorial will live on in perpetuity. So don't worry.
Awesome. Do you think we're ready to do our giveaways?
I think we are. I'm excited.
Okay. Let me get us up here and I will share my screen and grab that giveaway page.
It's so fun. I love this part.
145 entries. I think you've had the most entries of anyone.
I love it.
So Softflex is giving away a 10-foot spool of Softflex beading wire in bone. You must be here to win. So I'm going to draw a name right now. Let us know in the comments that you're here, and then we'll give you instructions on how to get your prize. Here we go. Wouldn't it be funny if it was your mom?
Right. Yeah. If it's my mom, she doesn't get it.
Blue Heart Baking on
Blue
YouTube.
Heart Baking.
We love you. Let us know you're here. If you're not, I will pick another winner. So
I shouldn't take that prize away. Now my mom's going to come over and go, because she knows she can get anything. So Ma, if you need a spool of Softflex, come over and get it. So
yes,
funny.
if she needs a spool of Softflex, I will send her a spool because I am a big fan, like many of the people that were commenting about your mom in the comments too.
Well, she is fun for sure.
Terry says she thinks the winner's name is appropriate because you just had a birthday.
Yes, right. I love it. Yeah, I had some Kate, Miranda. Oh, and there she is. Yay. Or they are. I don't know. She or they. Awesome.
She or they. Email info@softflexcompany.com. Let them know you won the bone colored beading wire and give them your shipping address and your name in this case. So we know who to ship it to. And we will happily ship that out for you. I'm picking a second winner. So the second winner is going to get a $25 gift card from Miss Kate at beadshop.com. So this is a big prize. Hold on to your hats. Here we go.
So exciting. I
know. I love giving prizes away. Liz has consistently this whole week. Liz, I've seen you on almost all of the videos, so I'm really glad to see that you're a winner.
So lucky, Liz. You're a winner, baby. You're a winner. And I put up in the comments, Sarah, there you can email info@beadshop.com, Liz, and we will get that sent out to you if that's okay, Sarah, right?
Yes, that works great,
okay.
Liz.
Perfect.
Liz, email info@beadshop.com to claim your prize and just remind them that you won it on the Softflex stream.
Great. And we will take care of that right away. So fun.
Before I go, I started a new jewelry making club on Patreon. And Softflex has been so gracious to let me do that in addition to my everyday job. And we will be doing my first live video for members only tonight. And I will be teaching these super fun but easy to put together fringe earrings.
Oh, those are gorgeous, Sarah. I saw that you started that, and I really hope that our viewers today jump over and join that Patreon, because
I think it'll be fun.
you have, I don't know, how many years of jewelry experience do you have behind you? 30?
30.
30.
Yeah.
30.
26 years with Softflex, but I was beading before then. So
Right? You were only 2 years old when you started.
I wish.
Same as me, right? I started it too.
Oh, yes. Yeah. We were babies.
We
Beading
were babies.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. Well, I wish you so much good luck, and we will over at Bead Shop also send your Patreon out.
Oh, thank you.
I'll link it in a newsletter. So you'll see our newsletter tomorrow. There'll be links to this project, all kinds of stuff. So again, a big shout out and a big thank you to Softflex for not only are you folks customers of Softflex, but we are too. And as a company, it's great to know that your company partners take great, great care of you. So thank you so much for all of your kindness over the years.
Of course. Thank you for being here, Kate. You are a treasure, and it was really nice to spend time with you. I'm looking forward to being with you again for the Great Bead Extravaganza next month.
I got to pull my kit together.
That's what you're doing next.
It'll happen. Yes. Now that this is done, it's smooth sailing.
On to the next. All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern for our next live bead sale. And I am super excited. See you in just a few.
All right. Thanks, everybody.